Hey guys, it's Jennifer. Welcome back to my channel, and today I am doing my belated June wrap-up video. I really don't have an excuse for uploading it this late, so I'm not going to go into that, so let's just jump right into it. So in June, I started 5 books, finished 5, DNF'd 1, and then I read 4 paperbacks, 1 hardcover, read 1,666 pages, and read 22 hours and 57, so 22 hours and a little over a half. So I did read more than last month, but I also read quicker. So, moving on. Also, in June, I purchased The Merciless number 4, The Last Rite, which I believe I mentioned in one of my previous videos as well. Alright, June. Here is my pretty sunflower again. And let's continue. Here is my reading log. There was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days I didn't read in July. And yeah, I finished The Book Thief. It's not on June, but I did finish The Book Thief, which was part of the buddy read. I think I gave it 4 stars, maybe. I liked the book, I liked the plot. The writing style, though, wasn't all too great, and I'm actually going to be DNFing that book later, because I really don't think I'll be rereading it, even though I enjoyed it. It's not something that I will probably be revisiting. I also finished American Fantastic Tales as well, which is not included on this June side. That was in March. And I gave it, how many stars did I give it? I gave it 4 stars as well. I really loved reading American Fantastic Tales. It was just really fun. And I put stars by all the ones that I thoroughly enjoyed. And there was quite a bit of them, even the ones that weren't my favorites. All the stories were still extremely enjoyable. And it was just fun to read, even though it took me a long time to read them. It was fun. And I think this was volume 1, and there's a volume 2 at my library, and I eventually plan on reading volume 2 as well. So, getting on to the ones that are actually behind June, I read The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. Boom. I don't know how to say that. Which is a children's story, and I gave it 4 stars. I had never previously read The Wizard of Oz. Of course, I have seen the movie as a child. But I thought it was really fun, very whimsical, really easy to read. There are definitely differences between the movie and the book, which is kind of a given. But regardless, the movie definitely captures, the whimsicalness of the book. So yeah, I thought it was a fun story to read. It only took me 3 days to read. I honestly don't think I read all that much in those 3 days, but yeah. Then I read the Fledgling Handbook 101, which is a companion book with the House of Night series. If you read this before actually starting the series, it can give you some useful information, but pretty much almost everything that's in this little Handbook 101 thing is all mentioned at some point in the series. So if you're reading in the middle of the series, or if you've already finished it and then you come to visit this book, it's just kind of a recap of most things, and I just felt like I was being fed the same information again, and it was quite annoying. So I gave it only 1 star. And I really didn't like the origin stories in this book as well. They were quite boring, and I don't know, I know it's supposed to be like a textbook or whatnot, but it's a companion to a fiction series. This book itself is still fiction. However, I think it could have been done better, and it was executed poorly, so I only gave it 1 star. And then I continued with Burned from the House of Night series. I gave it 3 stars, which is unusual for me. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good. Stevie Ray is making a lot of the same mistakes Zoe initially did in the beginning of the series, which is kind of irritating because you think Stevie Ray should know better. And a lot of the things that I have noticed in the series, both Zoe and Stevie Ray will have sex after a traumatizing event. And quite frankly, that's not really healthy, nor is it the right time and place to be having sex with somebody after you've been through a traumatic event. And another thing that kind of really irritated me in this book, Stark feels like if Zoe somehow, like, turns her back on him, he'll give in to darkness. And I think that's not a healthy relationship at all. You should never set yourself where you rely on a person so much that somehow you wouldn't be the same person, or they're the only good thing about you, that the person you are dating is the only good thing about you. And that's pretty much what Stark is thinking and saying about his relationship with Zoe, and I found it completely unhealthy, and it was really irritating because that is unrealistic. I don't think young girls and boys should think that this is how a relationship is supposed to be, because it's not, and it's not healthy. And at this point, I really only care about Stevie Ray and Rephiam. I don't care about Zoe and Stark. They have made me angry too many times. And then I read and finished the complete Cthulhu Mythos Tales by H.P. Lovecraft. Also gave it 4 stars. Really enjoyable series. Again, I put stars by my favorite short stories, and I put 2 stars by this one because that one was my absolute favorite in the whole thing. I also really like how a lot of these stories were connected with each other, not just by the creatures, but like the Necronomicon, which is like a book about these creatures or gods or whatever you want to call them. It was just really fun to read, very spooky. I really liked H.P. Lovecraft's writing style. It can be dense at times. There is sometimes quite a lot of world building, describing statues and things like that. But H.P. Lovecraft does a really, really good job on creating suspense and intense moments while you're just like sitting on the edge of your seat reading this. And it extends for a period of time, but it was still really good to read, and it was enjoyable. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just was written really well, in my opinion. And then the last book I have in here for June is The Murder of King Tut, but I did DNF this book. I didn't even get into 100 pages in, and I don't know. I don't like the way it was written. The problem that I have with this is that this book is being advertised with James Patterson's name. His name is bigger than the actual title of the book. So they are selling this book with James Patterson's name, not because of the story that the book is in. Another thing that I found irritating, and this is supposed to be nonfiction as well. The thing that bothered me is that it was jumping back and forth between, the time of the Egyptians into current times in which James Patterson and Martin Dugard are writing this book. And I didn't think that flowed well at all. It felt like I was stopping and going in the middle of the story. They're kind of like entering the parts and what order they've discovered these things, but it jumps back and forth between 2 time periods. I really don't know how to explain it. It was quite irritating and did not like the way it was written, so I just ended up DNFing it. So yeah, I don't have anything to really say about this book. It will be in a unhauling video, and that's really all I read in June. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye!